Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I'm going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Newcastle at Old Trafford. So I'm going to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. Start off with the goalkeeper, David De Gea. David De Gea, of course, was in goal in Manchester United's 1-0 win against Nicosia at Old Trafford in the Europa League. David De Gea had nothing to do in that game. Of course, De Gea is Manchester United's first choice goalkeeper. Right back, Diego Dalot. He will retain his place. Diego Dalot played against Nicosia. One of the best of performances by Dalot. I don't think he showed enough attacking intent. But there again, he will be fatigued. He's played a hell of a lot of games this season. Dalot, of course, is Manchester United's first choice right back under Ten Hag. He was also our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. There's no way back now for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's out with injury anyway. I reckon there's a very good chance he will be departing the club next year. The two centre-backs, I'm going to go with Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Varane, I think, will come in for Victor Lindelof. Varane's just come back from injury not so long ago. Lindelof, of course, played alongside Martinez against Nicosia. Varane and Lisandro Martinez most of the time play very well together in our back line. Another centre-half we've got is Harry Maguire, but obviously he's out with injury still. He wouldn't have started the game anyway because he's no longer one of our first choice centre-halves following the arrival of Lisandro Martinez. Left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. I do reckon he will start this game, so he'll come in for Tyrell Malacia, because Tyrell Malacia started against Nicosia recently. Tyrell Malacia has appeared to be our first choice left back under Ten Hag, and to his credit, he's had a lot of impressive games this season, but I do still think Luke Shaw will start this one. Shaw started our last league game against Everton at Goodison Park. The two centre midfielders, I'm going to go with Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen will start ahead of Fred. Of course, Fred started alongside Casemiro against Nicosia. Casemiro, I thought he played very well against Nicosia. He was unlucky not to score because he had a good headed chance, and he also had a chance where he hit the woodwork. If he continues like this, he will get his first Manchester United goal. Casemiro did provide an assist in our last league game against Everton, and he also missed a sitter, so he was unlucky not to score in that one. Christian Eriksen, he of course came on against Nicosia. Eriksen's done well in a lot of games since he come to Manchester United. Man United got him on a 3 transfer. When he officially signed, he signed a 3-year contract. McTominay is an option at centre midfield as well, but he won't start because he's no longer one of our first choice centre midfielders, just like Fred isn't following the arrivals of Casemiro and Eriksen. McTominay obviously can't play in this game anyway, as he is suspended. Don't forget McTominay scored the win in the 93rd minute of stoppage time against Nicosia, so he saved Man United from humiliation, because Man United almost got embarrassed twice by Nicosia. Anyway, the attacking midfielder, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes did play against Ammonia Nicosia. I thought it was wasteful, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. On the left wing, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. Rashford, I thought, put a decent performance out against Ammonia Nicosia recently. He had big chances, so he should have got his name on the score sheet. The Ammonia Nicosia goalkeeper, though, give him credit, he made some fantastic saves. He's a boyhood Manchester United fan. Rashford, against Everton last weekend, did score, but the goal got disallowed for handball. But to Rashford's credit, I think he's enjoying a good season to his standards. He's been far superior this season to last season. Rashford had an injury earlier on this season. Not so long ago, he won Premier League Player of the Month for September. On the right wing, I'm going to go with Anthony. I thought Anthony was poor against Ammonia Nicosia. I do recall him having a chance in the game that produced a save from the Ammonia Nicosia goalkeeper. Anthony scored in the 2-1 win against Everton last weekend. That goal came from a mistake from Idrissa in the midfield. It was a splendid ball by Martial to pick out Anthony, and Anthony finished it expertly. That was his third goal for Manchester United. Anthony, of course, scored a stunning goal in the 6-3 defeat to Man City. But he did nothing in that game up until that goal, and he scored on his debut in the 3-1 win against Arsenal. Man United got Anthony for €100 million. That equates to £86 million in pounds sterling. Sancho is also an option on the right. You can also put Sancho on the left, but I don't think Sancho will start this game. Sancho didn't start against Ammonia Nicosia at Old Trafford, but he did come on. And the striker, I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo. Martial is an option, but I don't know if he's going to be fit enough to play in this game. Martial is injured. He picked up the injury against Everton. He came off in the first half. He had to be replaced by Ronaldo, but Martial did get an assist before he had to come off against Everton. Ronaldo, yes, did play against Ammonia Nicosia. I do recall him having some chances, but for the vast majority of the game, he was anonymous. Last weekend against Everton, Ronaldo scored his 700th club goal. It was Ronaldo's second goal of this season. Since he re-signed, Ronaldo's got 26 goals in all competitions. He has 18 goals in the Premier League. Not so long ago, Ronaldo accepted that FA charge after Erik ten Hag said he wouldn't, because earlier on this year, Ronaldo got charged by the FA over that mobile phone incident at Everton. Revert back to August, Ronaldo got cautioned for the incident, and after the incident, Ronaldo apologised on social media. Prior to the Everton game, it actually said that Ronaldo was unhappy with Erik ten Hag's training sessions and style of play. And Erik ten Hag did mention that Ronaldo is unhappy that he's not playing regularly. He can leave Manchester United in January. Ten Hag will not stand in his way. But when Erik ten Hag first took over at Man United, he wanted Ronaldo to stay. But Ten Hag could receive 100 million if Ronaldo leaves in January. Anyway, so that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Newcastle. This will be a tough game for Manchester United. Newcastle are in form at the moment. Newcastle have got 9 goals in the last 2 games. Last weekend they beat Brentford 5-1 and they won away at Fulham 4-1. Newcastle are the richest club in the world. Obviously, since he had that takeover by that Saudi Arabian group. Newcastle's ex-owner was Mike Ashley. He was a cunt. Obviously, Newcastle fans heavily criticised him. Mike Ashley was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. Newcastle's manager is Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe got appointed in as the Newcastle manager in November last year. So he's been the Newcastle manager now for almost a year. Don't forget, Eddie Howe signed a new long-term contract with Newcastle. Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for a lot of years. Well, he enjoyed 2 spells with them, and at one point he had a spell with Burnley. Before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Newcastle, of course, sacked him because he wasn't good enough. At one point, Newcastle had Rafa Benitez. To be honest with you, I thought Newcastle were very consistent under him. But Rafa Benitez ended up resigning because he wasn't getting backed enough by Newcastle. Long time ago, they had Alan Pardew. Of course, Newcastle ended up sacking him. Like I said on the preview, my predictions and that, I do know, a lot of players that Newcastle have got. They've got Alain Saint-Maximin. That's probably one of the best players that Newcastle have got. Some people don't reckon he's that good. Callum Wilson, he's a former Bournemouth player. Callum Wilson, he's obviously reuniting with Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Ryan Fraser, he's also a former Bournemouth player. He's reuniting with Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Miguel Almiron's a good attacking player. Chris Wood, Newcastle got him from Burnley. I thought Chris Wood was also good at Burnley, and before Burnley was at Leeds. Bruno Guimaraes, what a player he is. He scored twice in Newcastle's 5-1 win against Brentford. Alexander Isak, Newcastle signed him from Real Sociedad. He's actually ruled out of this game because he's out with injury. Jacob Murphy, he's another attacking player that Newcastle have got. John Joe Shelvey, don't know if he's available for this game because he's been out with injury. John Joe Shelvey is a former Liverpool and Swansea player. Sean Longstaff's a good midfielder. He's brothers with Matty Longstaff. Elliot Anderson, Joseph Willock. Didn't they get him from Arsenal, Joseph Willock, Newcastle? Joe Linton. Emil Kraft, he's out with injury at the moment. Paul Dummett. Matt Ritchie, he's injured at the moment as well. Newcastle's first choice goalkeeper, Carl Darlow's out with injury at the moment. Another goalkeeper of Newcastle have got is Nick Pope. They got him from Burnley, and they've got 2 other goalkeepers. Daniel Byrne, Newcastle signed him from Brighton. Matt Targett, Newcastle signed him from Villa. Sevan Botman, Newcastle signed him, was it this year? Jamal Lewis, Newcastle signed him from Norwich. Kieran Trippier, Newcastle signed him from Atletico Madrid. He's a fullback. Lascelles. So there you go. So they are the vast majority of the players that Newcastle United have got. Let me put into the equation that Newcastle have lost players. They let Kieran Clark go. They let Federico Fernandez go. They loaned Matty Longstaff out to Colchester. They let Isaac Hayden go. The loan Martin Dubravka out to Man United. Man United do have the option to buy Martin Dubravka for around 5 million at the end of the loan. Dubravka's not yet made an appearance for Man United. He's just our second choice behind number 1 David De Gea. Dubravka had a knock for Man United not so long ago. So there you go. Manchester United won this fixture at Old Trafford last season against Newcastle 4-1. Like I said, yeah, we have got some players missing. Like I was saying when I was going through the predicted 11, obviously Martial's injured, Maguire's out, Van der Beek's been out with a knock. Varane's just come back from injury but available to play in this game. Played no part against Ammonia and Nicosia. Brandon Williams, he's still out with injury. He's been out of injury for a while, but he doesn't get in the team anyway. So, yeah, they are the players that Man United have got missing, and Wan-Bissaka. Erik Ten Hag, after the 1-0 win against Ammonia Nicosia, he said Erik Ten Hag praises his side's, what did it say now if I can remember rightly? Praise his side's creativity and scoring capabilities. You know, Ten Hag said a few different things in the last few weeks. You know, after the win against Everton, he called Man United players to be more clinical after Everton win. After the 3-2 win against Ammonia Nicosia, where Erik Ten Hag made an admission saying Man United are not that good. But you know what? Erik Ten Hag, I think he's doing a pretty good job at the moment as Man United manager. You know, he needs time. This is his first full season as Man United manager. And his expectations this season will probably just to get Man United a top 4 finish. Maybe win a trophy as well, because Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. There has been games this season where I've give Ten Hag credit because I like the way he's approached certain games. But on the other side of things, there have been games where he has got decisions wrong. But I've not once prejudged Erik Ten Hag since he got appointed in. You know, Erik Ten Hag replaced Ralph Rangnick earlier on this year. He's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. He's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option to extend for a further year. Erik Ten Hag, not so long ago, got named Premier League Manager of the Month. Since he became Man United manager, he's made 6 signings and spent over 200 million this year. He's also got rid of players as well, but despite that, he's still inheriting Deadwood. Ten Hag's revealed his transfer plans already for January. He said a few weeks ago Man United will continue to hold meetings over strengthening the squad. Ten Hag's going to get a transfer budget of around 70 million. The January transfer window will be second transfer window as Man United manager. And don't forget, Erik Ten Hag, you know, brought Steve McLaren and Mitchell van der Gaag to the club. They've been working alongside Erik Ten Hag at Man United. We've got Benny McCarthy at the club as well. John Murtough, Richard Arnold. Earlier on this year, Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. And the Glazers are still at Manchester United, but they've been a massive, massive problem for such a long time now, and for a long time, United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club since 2005. Not so long ago, it said that the Glazers had set a price to sell the club, and that was 9 billion. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, don't forget, said that the Glazers do not want to sell Man United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe did admit that he would have bought Man United this summer if the club had been up for sale. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is Britain's richest man, or one of Britain's richest men, should I say. He's the chairman of Ineos. Now I'm hearing that the Emirates are interested in buying Man United. For quite some time, Michael Knighton's been interested in buying the club. He's well known for his involvement in Man United and Carlisle, and earlier on this year, Elon Musk joked about buying the club as well. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.